Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you something very easy and fast. You will need a yarn, a pair of needles, and a crochet hook of number 3. We are going to start using 2 threads of the yarn that you want. If it's very chunky, well, you are going to use 1 thread. In this case, I'm going to use 2. And with my pair of needles, I will start casting on the stitches. If you are going to use this stitch for a special project you are making, well, I suggest that you use the yarn that you are using for that project. For example, if you're making a blanket, well, you are going to use the same yarn that you are using for your blanket. Well, I will start with 2 stitches, then I will use my hook and I will make the puff stitch. I will pass it through. You are going to use this finger to keep all the stitches, and before we turn over, we are going to insert our hook and we are going to insert it right here. We are going to repeat this 5 times. Once we have all the threads together, we are going to bring them through using our hook, and now this loop, we are going to bring it back to the yarn. Now with the, to the needles. We cast on the stitches again, 1, 2, and again we are going to use our hook and we are going to repeat. We are going to make 1 puff again. Remember that before we pull the yarn, we are going to insert our hook inside the loop like this. We are going to repeat this sequence 5 times, and once we have all the threads together and we repeat this 5 times, well, we are going to take the thread and we are going to bring it through. So for now, let's finish. Let's repeat this. Once you bring it through, you are going to bring it back, this loop, to the needles. Take 1, take 2, and again we are going to repeat. You can make this either with your needles or with your hook. As you could see, after each puff, we are going to cast on 3 loops into the needles, and then again we are going to repeat and make a puff. And this is how we are going to continue until we get the width of the long of the stitch for the project that we are making this edge for, okay? But remember, I always suggest that before you make it to the project that you are making this edge for, you make a sample with for example, 6 puff to see how many yarn you will need, if you are going to leave less space in between or more. Well, I will make 1 more with you. Remember that before each puff, we are going to cast on 3 loops more, and then in the last one is where we are going to insert our hook and we are going to pull the thread. We are going to repeat this 5 times. Look, once we repeat this 5 times, we are going to bring them through and we are going to take 1 loop back, and this is how we are going to continue. Well, for this sample, I made 8 puff. Once you have the puff that you need, well, now we are going to continue with the needles. Remember that I'm using 2 threads in each stitch. So I'm going to take the first stitch like this, taking 2 threads, and I'm going to knit them. Remember to take 2 threads together. We are going to knit 3, and after we knit 3, we are going to cast 1, and then 2, 3, and again we are going to knit the next 3 like this. We have 2, 3, we are going to cast on 3 stitches like this, 1, 2, and 3, and then again knit 3, the next 3. And basically this is how we are going to continue for the rest of the row. Remember that this is the sample and I'm just making a small piece of it, but you are going to make it with the stitches that you have according to the piece that you are making this edge for, okay? I think that you can make this edge for either for a blanket, for a sweater, for a blouse, for a baby set. Maybe you can make a scarf, or you can use it for a beanie. For any project, that you may have in mind. Remember that in the last videos I have been teaching you how to make easy small projects, but easy and fast, that you can make it for this season, and that you can start your own business, and we can start making more things now that we are spending this quarantine in our house. So you can spend your time by making these projects. And well, as you could see, now here in this part we are increasing some stitches. So I suggest that you first make this sample to see how many stitches you will have at the end, and you will see if this is too much, if you are increasing too much for the project that you are making this for, or you need to increase less stitches. So I suggest that you first make your sample to see how many stitches you will have at the end after we increased in this part, to see if there are too much or there are less stitches according to the project that you are making this. And well, now that I'm finishing, I realized that I started this stitch with 2. So I should have finished with, I'm finishing with 1, I should have finished with 2. So I will knit them separately. But well, now you know that I made a mistake, that you should start with 2 stitches at the beginning. Well, now you know that at the end we are going to turn and we are going to make the next row making for a stitch like this. So we will have the jersey stitch. Remember that for the jersey stitch, it means that we are going to make 1 row knitting and then we will come back making for a stitch. You can use this stitch, the jersey stitch, or you can use the stitch that you want. Okay, in this occasion I'm going to use the jersey stitch because I think that it complements perfectly the puff stitch, that it's not too simple but it's not also too difficult to make, and at the end it will look good. To combine these 2 stitches, I think that they make a nice combination. So for now we will finish this row making the board stitch. And remember that in this row we are going to continue with the stitches that we had. We are not going to increase anymore, okay? So well, now let's finish this row and then I will teach you how we are going to finish. And well, so far it has to look like this. I already finished the board row, and now you can continue with the stitch that you want. Okay, I was thinking that also, I have seen that there is a trend of the chunky blankets. Well, you can use this edge with more chunky yarn, with your needles of number 20. You can use this stitch to make the edge of the blanket, and it will look amazing, I guess. Remember that this is the right side, and I will continue making more jersey stitch so you can tell them better. Well, look, how do they look? It looks really nice, right? Well, as you could see, I just made 8 puff stitches, and you see how many stitches I had at the end. So remember that you have to take that into account, and I suggest always that you make a sample with the yarn, with a number of needles you are going to use, and according to the project that you are making this for, use the material so you will see how many stitches you will need, and you will see if you are going to add less or more stitches. Okay, but well, now let's see how it looks, and please, if you make it, take a picture and tag me. Well, so what do you think? I hope that you have enjoyed making this break with me. Remember that you can use this stitch for the coming breaks or for the coming ideas you may have. I love to teach you small, easy, but useful projects that are easy to make and that everybody can make, and that you can make it in many projects that you may have in mind. Remember that you can make a blanket or scarf or a sweater or blouse. You can use it in so many different things. Remember, if you use it, take a picture and tag me. I love to see you making these ideas. And well, I want to thank you for watching my videos, to subscribe and to leave your comments. Remember that as soon as I can read them, I will answer back. Thank you so much. And again, see you in the next video. Remember that every Wednesday and Saturday I share a video, okay? Remember also to follow me in all my social media and in my Spanish channel, where I share first the videos and then little by little I will share the videos in English. But well, thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to give me a like, and don't forget to share your pictures, okay? Thank you so much and see you in the next video. Bye!